Hello, and welcome back to the Ball Knowledge Podcast. As always, I am your host, Ismail. I'm joined by Aslam. And, yeah, as always, at least as you, MK's like hair all there.
Useless.
Well, welcome everyone to a new show on the YouTube channel, the Rant episode. Rant, however you say it, we're doing it.
Yeah, I think the Americans say rant, but we say ron.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I don't want to say it too much because then it just becomes discombobulated mess. And you're like, that's not even a word, though, is it?
Is it when you look at words too much and you're like, is that really how it's spelled? It doesn't make
Plus,
sense.
it's too cold to be doing this. I'm gonna be real, yeah. I was outside. I'm wearing like 4 layers, and my feet are still freezing. How can my feet freeze when I have socks and shoes on? This is Britain. You know what? Yeah, we need to follow through on these climate change stuff, right? Boris Johnson and all you lot, please. I can't firm this cold weather. Give me hot. Actually, wait. Climate change will make the world hotter.
Yeah.
Alright, fuck it. Then forget what I just said. Yeah, let's make the world hotter. Forget about Florida. Who cares? Like, who even plays in Florida? Like, you got the
Jacksonville,
Dolphins.
yeah.
They're shit anyway. The Marlins. No
Tampa.
one likes them. Tampa. Yes, let's get rid of Tampa. Hopefully, Tom Brady's still there and he drowns. Evil little weirdo.
That's a fun way to start the episode.
I've already ranted about the weather.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, well, effectively, this whole series, however long it's going to run for, is about us ranting about stuff that pisses us off, really. If you've watched other episodes, you've seen Aslam rant about stuff.
yeah, I
We
rant.
know Aslam rants about stuff. We've known it for how long now? Nearly 9 years?
Oh my god, that's too long. We've got 10-year anniversary coming up, so we need to have a
Yeah,
party.
boy.
You know, 10
Get
years
everyone
for.
together.
Yeah, no, that's a bit gay. Not that. I swear, I just say these things, but it's like the thing is, it's fine because we're not monetized. But if we eventually get monetized, it's actually over for us. I actually can't speak, or we're gonna have to hire an editor that will go through and like take out all the
Yeah.
stupid stuff we say. Because oh my word! But anyway, look right. Today's rant is about Spider-Man, but not the
Oh,
comic.
no, or just. Oh, with that first one, because I don't think we're going to rant about it for an entire hour.
Oh, yeah, no. But these are shorter episodes. Don't worry. I
Okay.
don't. We can't do an hour. If I spend an hour ranting about Spider-Man, I actually might die. Okay, that's the thing because I get so vexed about it, right? But the thing is, here's the thing with all the different. By the way, this is just about the movies, yeah. Not the comics. I love the comics. Besides what J.J. Abrams done, I'm sorry, but that was an abomination.
Which one J.J. Abrams did? Not the clone one,
Basically,
was it?
he makes this really depressing one where like Peter's an old bitter man and he's been like messed up, and I think Peter dies at the end or he's close to dying, and I hate it, man. The guy he had some messed up story for Superman. He had some messed up comic for Spider-Man that he's never continued. I think he made one issue and then he forgot about it. Flipping waste, man. I hate him. The only good thing he's done is like Star Trek anyway. There's
And
Star
it
Trek.
ruined Star Wars.
Oh, don't worry, that's coming soon. I flipping hate it. So anyway. Spider-Man movies. Let's keep on track. I
Yes.
can't rant about too many things, right? So here's the thing. Each different franchise has certain good elements about it that I really like, right? Like Toby's is so close, right? So close. The only problem is Toby just looks weird as Spider. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just it. Like the writing in general is actually pretty decent. And it was going for a more campy feel, so it's like really hilarious as well. Especially the first one and the third one cracked me up. The second one takes itself a lot more seriously, and it goes so hard. Like anyone that says Spider-Man 2 is not like top 3 Spider-Man movies is just on crack, right? It actually is second, I think, because I think Spider-Verse is just unanimous number 1. You can't compare with Spider-Verse. But 2 comes in close, right? And anyone that puts any of the other ones above it are just wrong,
It's the
right?
first comic book movie to get an Oscar, right?
I think so.
Yeah, the visual effects Oscar, I think.
Exactly. They were so sick.
Yeah.
And like all of it's the practical effects of it too. Like Doc Ock was awesome. Melina trained himself to use the friggin' arm. And all of it was so cool. And you had the train scene, yeah. Forget about the actual him pulling it, and because the actual bit that strikes me is, you know, when he comes in and Toby's out on the ground and they're like, he's just a kid. Like, he
Yeah.
looks like my son. And that's the whole point, right? Except Toby looks like an old man. He's like, he looks like my child, but Toby's like 40, it looks like. And it's like, the scene is so good because it resembles what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man. He's just this little kid that he's any one of us that got bit by a spider, and he just chooses to fight because of a traumatic experience that forced him and pushed him into becoming Spider-Man and trying to help people, similar to Batman, not have to go through the same experiences he had. Now, obviously, this is just a kid that can just take more. And I'm not saying kid in the sense that, because he starts off as a kid, but obviously he grows up and he gets older and starts Parker Industries. I really like that comic book storyline. I really like Parker's Industries, and then they just decided that actually we can't have him rich for some reason, and they binned it off and made him a failure.
Is that when he brought the Baxter building?
Yeah, and then he goes bankrupt because his inventions do help people, but they don't make money, and I hate that. But anyways, that's beside the point, right? He he just doesn't look like what I want Peter Parker to look like. He looks too old. But everything else is kind of cool. And Spider-Man 3, I know people hate it, but it cracks me up. Like, even the bad Spider-Man movies, they crack me. Like, Amazing Spider-Man 2 cracks me up so much. It's just hilarious, man. The amount of stupidity in it is amazing. It's absolutely awesome. And Spider-Man 3, I know everyone laughs at the emo scene, but it's so funny. I don't care. If you don't watch that and you're laughing, there's something wrong with you. Like, all these critics that were panning it, blame Sony for that. It's not the movie's fault that they tried to include like 9 different villains in it.
Yeah.
Like, flipping, what's his name? Green Goblin. What's the actor's name? The guy
James
that plays
Franco.
Harry. Yeah, he's not very good in the role. He's just
No.
not very good. Yeah, he plays like this awkward. He goes from like awkward loner to like trying to be really cool. It's like, it doesn't work. But everything else about the Raimi movies are cool. And like, you know, in the new what's it called? The new trailer, there's that bit where they're trying to take the piss out of Otto Octavius' name.
Yeah.
Like, and it's really awkward. And then people are like, oh, but the Raimi movies did it, yeah? The Raimi movies did it in a really cool way. Because they reference Doctor Strange in it as well, and they just make fun of it, but it's actually a clever joke. It's not them going, oh, Otto Octavius, how is that? Shut up, man. Such bollocks humor, man. It pisses me off. We'll go into the MCU one in a bit, don't worry. And then the Amazing Spider-Man, right? Actually, no. Yeah, no. The Amazing Spider-Man has everything besides writing, story, and the stuff that actually matters, right? Because it's really cool. It's got a lot of style. You can see that, like, the fight scenes in it are arguably the best. Like, if you put them toe to toe, because I think the Doc Ock Toby storyline is really cool, and I think that might just be the best villain storyline we've had. But in terms of like just pure fights, the like the bit with Electro where Electro starts pounding him and then they start making music with the little thing, like, that's so cool. And the way they shot everything, it's friggin' beautiful. And then, like, it's just so cool, but the writing in it is so bad. And then the story
Yeah,
is
no.
just bad. Like, it cracks me up. The second one cracks me up, right? But they make Ben Parker. No, not Ben, sorry. They made Peter's dad a flippin' like super agent type
Yeah.
scientist, and he's like, and it's like, oh, look, you've got these epic coins that just shove a train up from the ground, and this train still has working electricity to power this laptop that somehow has always been charged because it's never run out of battery, and it's got this epic video. And in the end, you know, he meets, and then oh my god, it's just. He made a Spider-Man series is bad, but also it's got some really cool. Like, the suit is just the best suit we've ever had. It's just, the second one is so cool, and Electro is funny as hell. He cracks me up, man. He's
They
like,
made him look really stupid as well.
I don't know why. I don't know why they
That
went
was
with
so. Why did they make him all blue?
Hey, you know what? Yeah, I kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie.
I
Like, I
know,
know
but
the
like,
yellow's cool,
I
but
didn't expect the MCU one to give him like the
yeah,
like
the
star around his
star.
face,
Yeah,
which I really like.
I think yeah, and they've
But
given him a
the big blue one, and they made him like really. They gave him a really sad backstory as well. You never really want him to be a villain.
I mean, I'm not gonna. I preferred him as a villain.
I know, but
He
like,
he was so funny. He was funny before, but when he's Electro, yeah, you know the bit when Peter's like, he's like, oh yeah, I know you. You're my friend. That bit cracked me up, man. I was dying so much. He's just this weird little and then he just becomes a terrible person. I don't even know why that guy shot at him. But then, like again, you got the bit with first of all, right? All the people there were idiots, right? Because you've got an electric man that's shooting electric. He doesn't even have control. People are just crowding around everywhere, yeah. And then you know how they do the bit where everyone's running up. They're
yeah,
not running to anything. There's a barrier at the top of the stairs, and it's like it's 2 feet or something. So you're not running into anything. They're running upstairs into a barricaded area. Are they stupid? Like no one decides to run downstairs either. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And I know the bit with Peter is really cool where he's like, psh, 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 and he does it with the one hand, but still, it was stupid, man. It was like so dumb. But I
it's
mean,
a classic
even
movie thing, though. No,
hmm?
that you see a supervillain or a superhero, and then they're indestructible, and you just keep shooting at them.
Yeah, it's just like just don't do it. Like I don't like that trope. But I mean, Peter, like Spider Man's actually really good in it. Like he's banging off little quips and he's like making jokes and everything, and he's still really strong. Like oh, this man is so durable. Like you know, in the end when he takes the whole like electricity and he puts the wires together,
Yeah,
and he does that, and then flipping Green Goblin comes and starts beating the shit out of him as well. But he's just like fine, and he can still like do stuff, and it's like you are so durable, you actually make Spider Man cool. Sadly, your story is really bad. And I've got a bone. You see how people are like, oh, we don't like Peter Parker because he's epic skater guy. It's like, no, that was never what was wrong. Like, you can make Peter Parker cool. Peter Parker's never not been cool. He was a ladies' man. The man was juggling Mary Jane, Black
Gwen
Cat,
Stacy.
Gwen Stacy, the assistant Betty White or what? Not Betty White. The what's her name? The person from the news. She's an assistant in it. I can't remember
Yeah,
her name. But he's juggling all these different girls. He's always been a ladies. The thing is, it's not the fact that he's cool. It's the fact he's a stalker that gets me. Especially in the
yeah.
second one, he's just perving on Gwen, and it's like, just stop, man. It's really unacceptable, my friend. It's not on. You need to stop. It's just weird. On some level, you have to accept that this is weird. It's just
I
not.
like the Amazing Spider-Man movies that they followed the comics, sort of like in way around going through the movies.
What in their
So
program?
like
Yeah,
they did Gwen first instead of Mary Jane straight away,
yeah. I didn't.
and they
Yeah, I
went
remember.
through, and then they did the death of Gwen Stacy in Amazing Spider-Man 2 as
Yeah, but
well.
then in the proposed third one, they were gonna have him like revive everyone.
Yeah, that
So
was weird.
so on some level, I'm like, maybe we could have got a third one. But then I think,
Did we need
no.
it?
Not when he's reviving everyone. And also, I never got right. Why didn't he ever give the blood to Thingy
I
to
have no
Harry?
idea.
Because he's just like, oh, there's not enough. There might be ram. If he played it off like, oh, like if he went off with Gwen and he's like, maybe he could test my DNA and then he'd know it was me. Da, 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 da. Then I could be like, okay, fine, I can agree with that to an extent, but this is your best friend, right? Well, supposedly you hadn't met him in 10 years, and after one like really awkward exchange, then suddenly you just kick it off. Whatever, I don't mind that,
Yeah,
right? But this is your best friend, and he's dying, and he's basically begging you to like give him blood. It's kind of dickish. The way he does it is so dickish. He's like, yeah, I'll talk to Spider Man, knowing that he was always going to say no. Then he comes as Spider Man, and he's really sad and droopy. And he's like, sorry, Harry, I can't do it. And then he's like, then flipping Harry's like getting angry, and he's like sitting outside the window, and it's like, man, what are you doing? This is so weird. Like, it makes no sense. You haven't given me a logical reason why this man wouldn't say yes. He just went, oh, but it might do something to you. Well, he's going to die. Like, whatever it could do, I don't think it's worse than death of your best friend. Right? You just put some weird conflict in. And I don't even know, like, the Spider-Man games are kind of doing this too, but why has Harry got this like the Osborn virus is just a weird concept to me. I don't like it. Just make him normal and have a proper like downfall story. Don't give him some weird virus that makes him crazy and oh, don't just don't do it. But I think we've put off the worst one for long enough because oh my god, the MCU, right? The MCU. How do you put this? They have the right ingredients. Like everything there should be good, but
Yeah.
to me, it just isn't. It doesn't fit right. Like there's just some. If you're gonna have him be young, right? That's fair enough. Then actually show us what it's like to be Spider-Man and get all these gadgets and all the stuff that he has, while also being friggin' poor. And they kind of do that when they say, "Oh, you're a dumpster diver," but that's it. There's no progression. There's nothing else. There's no Aunt May going through troubles because Aunt May is just played like a. She's just a hoe. Let's be real. They got what's her name? Melissa Marissa
Marissa Tomei.
Tomei. Yeah, and they're just like, oh, she's epic and funny and cool and hot, and they dropped the ball on the her finding out about Spider Man because instead of going, hey, you had to carry a big like 10-foot airport thing, like the plane part with Captain
Yeah.
America, or oh, the Vulture almost killed you. She goes and starts supporting his. What do you mean? Like my big thing isn't May supporting Peter because it's always been like May has always it's always been implied that she knows that he's Peter, that he's
Hey,
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man,
sorry.
yeah.
But like normally it's because she finds out later on when he's older and then he knows the consequences normally, right?
Hmm.
This is a 15, 16-year-old kid. Like, are you not is there never a conversation where you're like, hey, I know you're Spider-Man and everything, but maybe this is like maybe you're a bit too young. Like there's other people around. There's Iron Man, Thor,
Yeah.
friggin' Captain America. Like they never show the conversation because it's almost like the MCU just dodges any important conversation,
Do
right?
you think that's where that new Spider-Man freshman show comes in?
No,
No,
because
because they said it'll fill in the gaps between all the movies, or like before Homecoming and in between Homecoming, Far From
but
Home, and then No Way
they're
Home.
not gonna have a solid. This is the MCU, right? Where they bait you with a hint of something good, only to give you surface level rubbish. Like they have such a good storyline with May finding out really early and they could have this big conflict between the two where he can come in and he can be like, I have to save people, this is my responsibility. Then you could actually bring up Ben in a good way and be like, I don't want you to do this because I've already lost someone like that. And he can go, exactly, we've lost someone like that and I know what it feels like. Then you can introduce him as this hole that they've always had but they've never addressed properly, and then it makes sense why you've avoided him. And I just thought of that in my head. I'm 20 and I'm better at writing than these fudging idiots. And like the MJ stuff is just so weird to me. Like one movie, she's just like, "Oh, I just don't like you," and she swears at them and she flips them off and she hates everyone. And then in the next movie, she falls for him. And my main problem with this guy is there's never any consequences to anything he's doing, ever. Like he misses the debate team and stuff. They win the competition. You could have had a real thing with Spider-Man there, where flipping um he's really messed up. He prioritized the wrong thing, and all the people at school hate him. But no, they won. So what's the difference? Liz, I think that's her name from the first one. His love interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, her dad's the vulture anyway. So even if you know anything was going to happen, it doesn't matter because she would have gone away anyway. So
Yeah.
no consequences there for him losing Liz because he was going to lose her anyway, right? In the one after is so, why, like, there's just no consequences to anything, really. If you actually think about it, like, no one died. Mysterio sends friggin' drones around the, like, and they also, everyone survived. Everyone. May's just supportive of him being Spider-Man. There's no consequences to that.
I
There's never
think
any
the
consequence.
only time they've ever done like like the actual consequence is the consequence of him giving the glasses to
Glasses. And even then,
Mysterio.
that's so stupid to me because they, it's this really weird paradox they do in the sense that he looks up and he sees himself supposedly as the next Tony Stark, right? And he struggles to fill that role because Iron Man is such a big hole. Even though the less said about Iron Man, the better. He's a massive dickhead, right? He causes more problems than he actually fixes. But whatever. Epic snap, woo! I am Tony Stark. Whatever. Fuck off, right? Spider-Man is meant to be your flagship character. He is the only one in comics, along with that can stand up to Batman and Superman. The only one. So why have you made him an understudy really to Iron Man? And forget that for a second. Why is he not like growing as a character at all? He
Yeah.
doesn't grow. He's just the same like stagnant character that we've seen consistently. Like I've got so many problems with these stupid movies, right? It actually annoyed me. If you see Tony Stark as your hero and your idol, right? Why do you give the one thing that he gave you, the glasses? Why do you give that away? It makes no sense at all. Like this is the one thing he gave you, and you give that away in 30 seconds after meeting this dude. Makes no sense. Like Zendaya's just there, and she figures out the Mysterio thing before him. Wouldn't it have been smart if you did have this whole Mysterio thing to actually make him find out the mistake? Then it would have been better because it would have been a better betrayal rather than like MJ always being suspicious and then suddenly Mysterio finds out. And epic, cool, great. Like it's so dumb. It's
Yeah.
so dumb. And then they're gonna wash away the consequences of his identity being revealed in the next one, probably. And even in the first one, I'm sorry, but him being an Avenger makes no sense. It just doesn't. Because even in the comics, the whole time he's always like, I don't want to be an Avenger. They come to him, he doesn't go to them. There's no actual benefit of being an Avenger. The guy's already famous because he uploads his own videos and everyone knows about him. He's already helping people. So what is being an event? You're a dude that like put it if we put this into like proper context, this guy is just a dude with webs and stuff and like superhuman strength, right? He's not got super strength though. So what does
Yeah.
he actually like want to achieve? Like it makes no sense to his character that he'd want to be an Avenger. If they played it like, oh, he thinks that maybe being an Avenger would give him monetary benefits because he's linked with Stark, then you could have a nice little wrap up. But no, because they don't want to answer, and it's all surface level with these guys. It's always, oh, we on the surface this looks really good, but when you delve into it, it doesn't make any sense at all. It's so annoying because they've got all these good elements. They actually touch slightly on him being poor, but they never bring it up. It's all in deleted scenes. Aunt May not paying the bills, him like actually dumpster diving to try and find new equipment. It's never they never delve into anything properly to give it actual time. They just move on to the next thing to make to try and pretend that there's growth in the character when there's not really growth. It's just annoying, man. The one actual time I thought, hey, this is like actually Spider-Man, is the time when he's doing the little montage bit and he's helping people like across the road. He's helping the old woman
Yeah.
and people are coming at him and thinking, I don't need help. What are you doing? Get off me. And he's like, oh, sorry. That's the one time I was like, this guy's actually Spider-Man. He's trying to help, but these people aren't always receptive. I was like, yes, good. But then they just go and they just bait you with stuff. Like even the scene with the walls and everything collapses and it's like, oh, this might be a good scene, and then it's like, oh no, not really, because they because the part that made that scene actually good was because he really messed up, and it was also at his lowest point because May had just been messed up and like hurt, and then he goes to try and like kill the person, and then he messes up, and the whole thing's on him, and then he realizes, shit, I messed up, and I'm also just a man. Like I
Yeah.
shouldn't be in this situation. But he rises up because he's like, no, I have to be better as a result. But he's never better as Spider-Man after this. He gives away frigging glasses that can literally kill people and order drones and nukes and shit in 2 seconds just to some random guy that he met. Awesome.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
I hope No Way Home is good. If
I
No Way
agree
Home
with
is
you. You
good,
know.
it might fix stuff. But
Yeah. I've said when Homecoming came out, I thought it was missing like the like essence of Spider-Man in it.
exactly, because
I said when I watched Homecoming, I said it was good, but I felt like it missed something. It was missing that essence of Spider-Man we've seen before and we've read in the comics.
that's exactly. It's like Spider-Man is not meant to be Spider-Man is meant to be us. But
Yeah,
the whole point of the difference between Marvel and DC are DC heroes are typically like not gods, but they're insanely being. They're just
I
insane
mean,
being.
technically
Where
they're gods.
yeah, yeah, technically. Whereas like Marvel are like normal people that
Yeah,
become heroes and they have to deal with the consequences of it. This is a normal dude. He's meant to be us. Consistently, he's always been shown as the greatest hero. So
yeah,
show us him being a hero rather than this. Like they're just going through comic book events and trying to be like, look, we know the comics. I know you know the comics, but you're not understanding the essence. You're just
yeah.
it's just an image. It's not the meaning and the true understanding of the character. That's what annoys me. And it's clear that Tom would be good. He'd be great, but they just haven't clicked. It's just annoying. I'm done. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm depressed. Actually depressed.
I have I'm 50-50 about No Way Home. The only reason I say that is I feel like they're trying to fit in too much into it to make it a consistent good story.
Yeah,
I
because
feel like
they've got him dealing with the ramifications of his identity, all the multiverse stuff, his other villains coming back, Toby and everyone coming back.
allegedly.
No, he's definitely coming back. Let's be honest. All
No,
right,
no, but
unless
like if
John
someone
Cena is
says it,
punching the
no.
lizard, it's happening. All right,
Yeah,
like it's just so much to deal with a 2.5 hour movie. It's too
I
much.
don't. They won't make it the longest MCU movie. That goes to the 800 hours that Endgame was,
Yeah, Endgame was like 9 hours of absolute
and no one
rubbish.
cares about anything other than the last hour of the movie anyway.
Yeah, Endgame is just not good on a rewatch, in my opinion.
No, Infinity War is.
Infinity War.
I really like Infinity War compared to Endgame.
Yeah, but the thing is, I kind of feel the same. Like I just normally I just skip to the battle. It's the same problem I have with Endgame.
I think Infinity War is somewhat consistent.
No, but yeah, it's better. It's better. I
Yeah,
think I could
Endgame.
actually. I think I could rewatch Infinity War, but I can't rewatch Endgame.
Endgame is like it starts off with Tony coming back, and you're like, oh shit, I wonder where it goes from here. And then he disappears, and then they jump a few years in the future,
Yeah, I just.
and then everything is destroyed. And Captain America and Black Widow are talking, and then they jump forward and are like, oh shit, Ant-Man's back because he was saved by a rat. And then it
Which
slows
is
down a
fine.
bit more.
I actually, the thing about that is, I don't mind it, but how is a rat in there? Do you know what I'm saying? Like the doors are locked and all the windows are. It's like otherwise people would have stolen it if it's open. So you have to assume these doors and everything are locked. So how's a rat getting?
Thanos says Snap made mutant rats that can eat through cars.
The thing is, if they just did it like it's not a 5 year jump, but it's then it's like fine. That makes more sense. I
Yeah,
can get with that more. If they had like a pet rat, or you had I haven't even watched Ant Man.
really.
It just looks bad. Like
I I watch Ant-Man. Paul Rudd's in it, and Paul Rudd is good in it. Paul
I
Rudd
just
is a
think
great Ant-Man.
I just think it's
So I like Ant-Man.
boring. Like I watched the trailers, boring. I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I really wanted to watch that purely because the villain in it,
Ghost.
Anna Joan
Yeah.
Kramer, peng, just peng. But then everyone was like, "Oh, they ruin it anyway," and she's not very good in it. So I was like, "Oh, what a travesty! Like, what is the point then? What is the point of watching it?" The one reason I had to watch it, they
Paul
ruined it.
Rudd. I love Paul Rudd. He's hilarious.
Is he the? Nah, he is.
Yeah, he
Well,
is.
he's not the sexiest man of the year.
He is. I'm gonna die on this hill.
No,
I thought they would have given it to Jason Sudeikis.
no. Look, yeah, sexiest man alive actually has to be good looking. I don't care if it's the same man every year. It
Jason
has to be.
Sudeikis is
It has to
good
be
looking.
Chris Evans. Or it has to be Chris Hemsworth because they are beautiful
What
specimens.
about
I'm not having Paul Rudd
Krasinski?
or Krasinski, especially after he got ripped. Oh my god.
And there's Krasinski, Evans, Hemsworth, Pratt, technically.
No, Pratt,
Michael B.
not
Jordan.
Pratt. Michael B. Jordan is beautiful, especially in Creed. Creed is friggin' awesome.
Are we doing a rant about the sexiest man alive at the moment?
I don't actually know. Stop.
It's turned into more of a talk show than it did a run
Yeah,
after
but you
the
know,
Spiderman stuff.
that's what we do. We never stick with the plan. We just go off rails.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even want us to talk about the MCU anyway. Don't worry. After I went, you know what? The next one will be on Zack Snyder.
I was going to bring that up today.
I hate Zack Snyder more than I hate Spider. I'm done with him. I'm done with all his acolytes and all his fans and his cultists. I'm sorry. Everything. The thing is, I want to do a thing where I just go through Justice League and every reason why it's bad. And I can't do it because I can't sit through 4 hours of that stupid movie. I don't want to break it down. I don't want to do anything, right? It's just bad. And I
You know
can just
when the original Justice League came out, so the Josh Whedon version, I think that was the moment where I'm like, okay, what the fuck is happening with comic movies? Because I've been to the before 17th of November 2017. Before then, I went to the cinema to watch the MCU movies and random movies here and there, like the DC movies, and I liked what I was watching. And then Justice League came out. I was bored out of my fucking mind in that movie. It's probably the first time I sat down to watch a comic movie, and I was like, "This isn't good." It wasn't good at all.
And then I watched the ending when Superman comes, and that was kind of cool. But I was like, no, I don't.
Because they had a massive scene in the middle where Superman was talking to his mom and Lois in the middle of a cornfield, which didn't make any sense.
Why would it? I also think I have a better idea for how they could do Superman, right? If you want to do this bollocks black suit stuff, why don't you have him start off with the black suit, and then after he dies and he actually becomes a more hopeful figure, you transition to red and blue. Wouldn't that make a lot more sense?
Yeah, stop making dark.
That's the. And then they're gonna have him fall to the anti-life equation because
That's something that happens.
Yes, so essentially what they wanted us to do, right, is Man of Steel, he learns to try and become a better hero. Batman versus Superman tears that down and has everyone hate him, and he turns into this like really not evil, but the people perceive him as evil until he dies, where everyone realizes, wow, this was actually a really good guy. And then in Justice League, they were gonna have him come back, realize he's friggin' Superman and actually supposed to inspire people and be awesome, just for him to go bad again. Right. This is a true genius at work, You can tell because Jesus allegories. Let's just have Superman go up and do like the cross because the sun and or the Flash being an absolute pervert.
That's one of the scenes I hate in the original one.
Right,
when he's running and he falls onto Wonder
Woman. The whole
Woman.
thing is contrived, right? Because the truck driver drops his burger.
Yeah.
If I remember, he drops on his dirty truck floor. So why would he pick that up? Do you know, like if something touches the floor, especially your dirty floor where you're putting your feet, why would you pick that up and try to eat it? Number two, why does it take you 10 seconds? Like the guy's just looking for 10 seconds with no. He doesn't look back up. You know, he's breaking every. Even I know I'm not a driver. Even I know you have to look. Like there's instinct as well. Like
Yeah.
if I'm doing something important, I will always look back, regardless of whatever else I'm doing, whatever has distracted me. I will constantly look back because I'm scared for my life. If you're in charge of a bloody truck, you should be scared for your life when you're driving. So why do you not look? Number three, he takes extra care with Iris, which is fine. That bit I don't care because maybe he'll hurt her if he goes too fast, right? But then he just purrs and stares at her for too long, and it's like this is creepy. Like this is just off. And then this is the stupidest bit. His shoes burn off. He's in the middle of the road where everyone's watching him. Then he super speeds into not in front of the woman again. He super speeds into the little dog like zoo park, and the dogs are all licking him, and the woman's just like, yeah, like what? She's
Yeah.
supposed to know he's the Flash then. Like what?
I feel like they went around. I don't know if it's because I watched the show or I've seen other stuff about the Flash, but the way they went about showing he's a speedster was really dumb because it made it look like he slowed down time instead of him actually being fast.
Yeah, it's really annoying. It's the whole thing is like no one's actually shown the Flash to be real cool besides animated. But that's the thing. On some level, you just have to admit, unless our visual effects gets like so good, just don't have people that are like godlike beings or or like insanely powerful or insanely fast or they do something really well
Yeah.
because you can't show power and speed as well in real life as you can. Um, oh, Lewandowski scored an overhead kick apparently in the snow. Great, he's my captain.
Nice.
But you can't show that as well
Yeah.
on just like live action. So it's just annoying. I hate it, man. I hate Joss Whedon. He makes shit movies. Like you know how Cyborg's dad died?
Yeah.
It's shit. Because it's just like Cyborg goes, but he knows exactly where everyone is. He knows where Steppenwolf is. So why doesn't he tell the Flash? Like this is the literal fastest man on the earth, right? He could go there and save your dad. He can go there and save the mother box. Even when they come, they all arrive, and then they just watch as Steppenwolf is taking the mother box. But again, this is a dude that can, as we see later on, time travel. So why doesn't he just grab the box and run away? Like
Yeah.
they make contrived reasons for people not to do something just to further the plot along. But then he makes shit movies and his stupid fans, he's trending every other day and it's annoying. I hate it because people bring up that shit movie and that shit 4 hour car and how Batman. I saw some Batman fans go, "Oh, but look at how epic it was when he told Joker, I'm gonna kill you." He used the F word. That's Batman.
It's not
Just
Batman.
shoot me. Just shoot me because how can oh my god! If I go to a random person on the street and I say, "Does Batman kill?" They will tell you no. So why do filmmakers and you dickhead fans that actually read the comics think that he killed? That's all right. It's all right. I swear, WB, you do a lot of shit terribly. You treat your workers terribly. You know, you're racist. You you do a lot of stuff badly. Yeah. The one
Yeah.
thing you haven't done badly is given in to Snyder. Don't do it, please.
I
Don't.
will admit, at first I was part of the people who wanted to see the Snyder Cut because I thought it was going to be good, and then I watched it. I wasn't impressed.
It was shit.
I did.
I said it was a 7 because I really like the ending, but then even the ending doesn't make sense to me. So now I'm bumping it down. It's a 1. It's barely serviceable. It's
I will.
It's 4 hours of indulgent bullshit.
I will say, there's no need for the Aya cut of Suicide Squad. Just let it die.
Bro,
Just let
the
it die.
script
James
was
Gunn did a
released.
great Suicide
Like, I
Squad.
don't care. I don't unless he makes the most flashiest thing. We saw the script for what he originally wanted. It was shit.
Yeah.
So why people are convinced that it's going to be good? You've
Why
got a
did
good
he?
Suicide Squad movie. You didn't go watch it. That's your fault.
Why did
Forget
he?
the Ayer cut. Look at what James Gunn did.
Why did he make Joker fat? He
Why
released
did
an
he make
image
him a
of Jared
gang lord?
Leto's Joker, and he was fat.
He made him
I
a
don't
gang
know.
lord, and he
Yeah, I
made him,
know.
and he's more like a gangster than a like. Actually, the thing is, the Joker is really clever. Like he plays up to the whole, maniacal. He is maniacal, but he plays up the whole like class clown shit. Dude's clever. Like he's
Yeah.
insanely clever, regardless of what you think of him. So why he's suddenly a gangster? I hate Jared Leto as well. I hate him. I hate Ansel Elgort. I hate people that abuse women. I hate most NFL players. But
Who I do
David
love
Ayer, you're a
is
shit movie
James
maker.
Gunn. I
He's
like
so-
that he's like actually changing comic book movies and not following the same thing everyone else does.
Exactly. He doesn't follow the same bullshit formula. He adds his own spin on stuff, and I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But it's like
I,
he's one of the only filmmakers where I'm like, it's a similar feeling when I was watching Suicide Squad to when I was watching Spider-Man. It's like he wrote a comic book or done up a
and
comic
brought it
book,
to
and then he
life,
just
yeah.
then he just put it. Then he just went, "This is how we're going to do everything, and we're going to and we're going to do everything live action." And he doesn't put any ridiculous he doesn't feel the need to make some over the top action bit. Like I
Yeah.
know Starro was big, but they killed him in a really silly way. But it aligned with the way that the movie was going. It wasn't really contrived and dumb. It was genuinely interesting, and it was self-contained. The only
And it
part
makes
that
sense because it was
exactly,
all D-list stupid characters. It
Mhm.
made sense.
And it told its own story without having the need to delve into more stuff. And the only thing it did delve into was the Peacemaker bit, which was a very small bit at the end that just basically said he's alive.
Yeah.
And it's for a character in that movie as well. It's not like they were setting up some rubbish other thing.
I'm excited to see I'm excited for the Peacemaker show. I think
So
he's set up a brilliant character there with John
Peacemaker's
Cena.
awesome. See, the Peacemaker is a better character than Batista's ever played.
Fair enough.
I stand by that. I don't care
I'm
about
really
Drax.
annoyed how badly they nerfed Drax. They
Well,
ruined his character.
why didn't he kill Thanos?
Exactly.
It doesn't even have to be the main thing, right? You could have him just deliver the finishing blow. If Tony did that whole thing and then Drax come and stabbed him,
Yeah.
it still works, and it will do the MCU thing of being really funny, and it would have been a nice moment for him to cap off his story. But now Drax is in this weird zone
I
where
think that if I know you have a problem with character progression in the MCU, I have a problem with how they set up characters in the MCU because viewers just you wait for Miss Marvel next year.
yeah,
No.
the one time they actually show a Pakistani, they go, "We're gonna ruin her powers and absolutely demolish her." The morphing stuff is actually intrinsic to her character as well,
Yeah,
because she starts changing how she looks because she wants to be accepted in society.
yeah, she's
The whole
insecure and
thing is,
everything. It's supposed to be about her growing as a teenager,
yeah,
and you
exactly,
ruined it.
and her accepting herself and that she's not different. She's just right the way she is. She doesn't have to
Yeah,
change because she used to change into Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel. For fudge's sake. God. Even
really.
Shang-Chi, man. I had some serious problems with that. The green
But it
screen for
was
one.
okay.
It was 6, 7 out of 10. The action scenes really carried it because
Yeah,
I mean some of the bits. I mean, Aquafina, what is her name? Katie.
Yeah.
She knows how to like shoot arrows, and she's shot at the most important time. And like you couldn't have given that to a more deserving character, like I don't know, Shang-Chi's sister or Shang-Chi's sister. You couldn't have let her do it. Why?
Or
Why did she
Thingy.
become a
What's his
villain
name? The
at the
actor.
end? By the way, like it doesn't make sense. I don't
Is
know
she?
why she takes over the Ten Rings.
I don't know if
She never
she's more
showed
of
that.
a
She had a
villain.
nice little
Just
character arc.
yeah.
Or they didn't even give her an arc really. They just went, here you go. And the thing is, she overshadows Shang-Chi, which is the same thing I had in Black Panther, where Shuri overshadows Black Panther, and that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, don't big up this character when your main character is the one you're trying to sell. It's so annoying. I don't want to see a movie because I'm sorry, but even the sister is not that pink as well. I thought she was really pink, but then she wasn't. No offense. The haircut's really bad. Maybe it's the haircut because it's just this really awkward bowl cut. And I don't like it. No offense to her. I'm sure she's a beautiful person. Because East Asian people, wow. But but like, why does Katie do all that? Why is the end like so green screened and horrible? Especially when there were actually some really good shots in the film. I didn't like it.
It's a
And it
very
looks really bad because there's just shots of, you know, the bit where he like grabs his arm and they're like twirling?
yeah.
It looks so bad and goofy there. And you didn't need the dragon. What was his name? The destroyer of all beings or whatever it was. You didn't need him. He was useless. Bloody shit. You just have him fight Wenwu at the end and then cap it off there. Or if you're going to make the sister all epic and cool, then why don't you have them two take him on? Wouldn't that make a lot more sense if you're trying to like and at the end, yeah, why does Wong take Katie as well? Katie's useless. She doesn't have powers. It's not like she's carrying her bow at all times. She's just shit. I hate Aquafina. I just don't think she's very good. I think she's shit.
Fair enough.
She's bad. I hate the MCU. Actually, I know I said earlier I don't mind. I like Shang-Chi as well.
Time to give it a chance, though. I'm gonna say what all critics say is going in a new direction. It's gonna do the
new
same
direction
thing.
that goes off the past direction being terrible. I really do hope Eternals is good because Gemma Chan is really paying.
I don't have faith in John Watts for Fantastic Four, and I'm really scared because I really like the Fantastic Four. I love the Fantastic
Spiderman
Four.
director.
Yeah.
Yeah. Game over.
I really want a good Fantastic Four movie. Like an exceptionally good Fantastic Four movie. Because I got my hopes up for Fantastic and it was fucking disgusting. Do you know how I watched that movie once and I didn't watch it again.
Are you telling me you've watched Justice League more than once?
No, I didn't actually. But like this is like a whole nother level of I didn't want to watch this movie again because it was completely fucking shit.
I don't think I've rewatched many flipping MCU movies back. I haven't watched Guardians in a long time. And I put myself off because I really don't like the end where they do a dance off. I get that it's supposed to be a funny little conclusion, but yeah, the Ronan is really bad in the film. He's just really bad. That's the one thing I'm like, Gunn, you could have done better on that. Everything else, I actually don't. All I remember from that film is like the beginning where he's like, getting the thingy, wherever it is, the Infinity Stone thing that they. Yeah, and then I remember the bit in the middle. No, they go to the prison eventually. No, they're on that planet and they're chasing after, and Gamora's there
Nova.
as well.
Yeah.
And then they go to the prison, and then I think they meet Yondu somewhere, but I don't know when they meet Yondu. But eventually, like, there's the bit where Peter saves Gamora and he gives her the mask, and then the end where like Groot does his whole "I am Groot" and saves them all becomes a baby Groot, and then they do the dance off. That's all I remember from that movie. Like, it's a nice
There's a
little
bit that
plot.
you covered all plot points, to be fair.
Is it? I'm sick. I haven't watched it. Like,
The bit where he meets Yondu again after everything, when he puts the mask on Gamora, was when they went to nowhere to see the Collector.
oh yeah, the Collector, Benicio del Toro, who was wasted.
Yeah, I agree. I loved all the Easter eggs though.
Yeah, except they, as always, never followed through, and they were just
No, because they blew it up.
Dickhead.
James Gunn, he blew it up. I wanted more.
Yeah,
But
Twitter
at least what's
and
his
you
name?
literally blew it up, but yeah.
At least he kept Howard the Duck. Seth Green is fucking hilarious too.
He is, but I don't know. I just feel like Seth Green might be a weirdo. You know, like he
I think
gives
he's
me
just
weirdo
awkward.
vibes.
I think he's just awkward, not like weirdo. Although I will fight him because he was with Linda Cardinelli in Scooby-Doo too.
Oh yeah, you've got some weird crush on her.
It's not a weird crush, leave me alone.
It is though.
It's not.
It is.
No, she was amazing. She still is amazing. That's
You
why I
know
can't
what?
wait for Hawkeye. If she's not
You
in the
know.
first 2 episodes of Hawkeye, I'm not watching the rest of the show.
You know Good Will Hunting, yeah?
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
Yes.
You know the scene where Matt Damon's basically he tells the girl the truth and he's like, do you want to know I've got these fucking scars? And he gets and she's like, I love you, just tell me you don't love me and then you can move. That scene really hurts me. I felt really bad for him. And then I think that movie is so underrated, which is weird to say because I think it won an Oscar, but it's so underrated. But also,
Yeah,
kind
that
of,
was
I know it's a nice ending, but I don't like that they never gave us the resolution to get him and the girl because I really wanted to see them together. I don't like happy endings like that.
you know James Gunn did episodes of The Office.
What?
He directed episodes of The Office. I'm trying to figure out which episodes.
Can't you just go on his filmography?
And I can check on his IMDb, but it doesn't give me like specific episodes. Just check his wiki.
Oh yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna race you. I can't spell. Shit. Damn it.
It was
Damn,
over
he actually
before
looks
it even
beautiful in
began.
grey.
James Gunn.
Thingy. What's his name? James Gunn.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Short films, acting roles, television. He didn't do any Office. What do you mean?
Yeah, he did.
It doesn't show on his wiki. He lied to me.
Where is it?
Oh, it says James Gunn Office.
It was. I'm pretty sure he directed episodes of The Office, unless he wrote for it, because that's how he met Jenna Fisher.
Are they dating?
They were married.
Oh, were?
They were married. Yes.
Oh no. What happened between James Gunn and Jenna Fisher?
I don't think anything.
Hey, they were married from 2000. What do you mean?
That it was before The Office, but he did. I'm pretty sure he did episodes of The Office. I hope I'm not tripping here.
I don't know about that one, Chief. We've gone off the boil. You're wrong.
Okay, if he was just there, then I have to find out what episode of Harold Ramis did.
Mm.
4 episodes: Benihana Christmas safety training, and beach games.
Beach Games wasn't. Wait, was Beach Games the one where Michael's trying to pick a new manager?
Yeah.
That one. Actually, no, that one had the sumo bit that cracked me up.
I've never seen that look in another man's eyes in my life.
Jim got messed up. He got one shot. Oh, it's so bad.
He did the episode where Pam gave birth, Benihana Christmas, beach games, and safety training. You know the one where Michael is pretending to commit suicide, where he was going to jump off the
And they drop a watermelon on the little trampoline, and then Michael starts shitting himself. He's like, I don't want to do it, but I have to pretend that I'm going to.
You know when they drop the watermelon, it hits Stanley's car, or it hits a car, and he's like, if it's Stanley's car, call the officer James P. Albini. He got picked up with hate crimes.
You know, I really like the wedding episode a lot.
Oh yeah, same.
But not because the wedding itself is like really awesome, but because I like the ending. But they all start dancing and stuff. It's really fun. It makes me happy.
I hope this doesn't freeze here.
He's frozen.
I hope you don't freeze. You're moving around your house. That's not a good sign. You might have to call it off now. We talked about Spiderman and Zack Snyder. No, yeah, Zack Snyder, or just DC. We'll call it MCU and DCEU problems. That makes sense. With Asm to come back in a call off. Okay, I'll call it now. Thank you everyone for watching.